Hi everyone, today we are going to be making ice cream using dry ice. Now I know that oftentimes I come to your classrooms and we get to do this together, but since we can't do that this year, I thought I would show you all the steps, and so that if you want, you can do this at home. Here is a piece of dry ice. Now let's compare that with a piece of regular ice. These two are obviously not the same thing. Okay, so what is happening to the regular ice cube? It is doing what?
Melting.
It is melting. It is melting into what substance?
Water.
Melting into liquid water. It's going from a solid to a liquid. So what do we see coming off of our piece of dry ice? Steam. What else might it be?
Smoke.
Might be smoke. Okay, so let's think. If it's steam, what is a way we can know if it's steam or not? How does steam feel? If you were to feel steam,
It's hot. It feels hot.
it's hot. Okay, so let's put our hands right next to this, not too close. You guys feel, is it hot?
No, it's not hot.
You feel? Move your hand. Is it hot?
Nah. No.
What does it feel like?
It's cold. It's cold.
It's cold. Okay, so is it steam that's coming off?
No. No.
No, it is not steam. Okay, the other idea was maybe it's smoke. How can we tell if it's smoke?
It will go up. It will go up. Yeah, smoke rises.
Smoke rises. Okay, so let's see what's going
Smells
here. Are
weird,
we, is it rising? Which way is it going?
Down.
It's going down. It is falling. And smoke also smells, has a definite odor. Can we smell anything off of this?
Nope.
Nope, I don't smell anything either. Okay, so it's not steam, it's not smoke. Let's think about what dry ice is. So this ice cube is liquid water that is frozen into a solid.
Yes.
This is not liquid water that's frozen into a solid. What compound is this?
Carbon dioxide.
This is carbon dioxide in a solid form. How do we usually experience carbon dioxide? Do we usually experience in a solid form?
No.
We usually experience in what
Climate change.
form?
In a gas form.
Hold on. We usually experience carbon dioxide in what form?
Gas. Gas.
In a gas, but this is a solid. So what's coming off of here is what?
Carbon dioxide.
So this piece of dry ice or solid carbon dioxide is losing carbon dioxide, but it is not going from the solid to the liquid phase like our melting piece of ice here. It is going from the solid phase to the what phase?
Gas phase.
The gas phase. Can anybody tell me what that is called?
Carbon dioxide.
Melting?
Melting.
No, not melting. There's a good guess. This is called sublimation, when we go from the solid straight to the gas phase. Now there is plenty of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere around us here. Do we see it?
No. No.
Do we smell it?
No.
Do we taste it?
No. No.
But I am seeing something come off of this piece of dry ice. This doesn't make sense. Can anybody tell me what we see coming off of this?
Smoke.
Well, we've already determined it's not smoke.
Let's get that part off. Water vapor. Water vapor.
Water vapor. So remember, this is very, very cold, which is why I am not touching it with my hands. And it chills the water in the atmosphere around it and makes little teeny tiny droplets, and that is what we see. So you might have seen something similar to this if you live near the lake, and on a cool morning you might have seen some water vapor above the surface of the lake. Has anybody seen that?
Yes.
That is the same thing. It is water vapor. Now that we have established what dry ice is, let's use it for something fun. So when working with dry ice, we do want to make sure that everybody stays safe. And the main rule when working with dry ice is never use your hands to grab the dry ice. You can use gloves. I like to use tongs. Anything else, just make sure it does not come in contact with your skin because it is very, very cold. So if the dry ice comes in contact with your skin, it will damage your skin. It basically causes instant frostbite, which is why we never handle it with our bare hands or get it on our bare skin anywhere. Okay, but one of the cool things we can do with dry ice is we can make ice cream. But first, we have to take the dry ice and we have to smash it into very, very tiny pieces. So let's grab our hammer and let's start smashing. So I've put a couple pounds of dry ice in an old pillowcase. I have used this pillowcase before. You can see it's a little bit battered, but that's all right. And then we are going to take our hammer and we are going to smash this into a very fine powder. Okay, so I find this works best with the broad side of the hammer, and I am literally going to just bash this.
Do it.
And if you are doing this with your family, it is fun to pass the hammer on to another member of your family. Okay, go ahead and get in there and smash. So we have done some smashing, and you can see we've made a good bit of progress. We still have some bigger chunks, but what I really want is that fine powder, that fine snow-like powder. So we're going to continue to smash this and get rid of those larger chunks, because the last thing we want to do is eat our ice cream and bite into a chunk of dry ice like that. Yeah. Yeah.
I see little tiny pieces of dry ice everywhere.
On this.
Okay. Okay, so we've done some more hammering, and you can see it's much more snow-like. Turn the cup around. It's much more snow-like now. This is pretty much ready. Even those bigger chunks are actually just the smaller ones sticking together. So this is now ready to use to make our ice cream.
Yay!
So I am now going to add my ice cream mixture to my bowl. It is in its liquid state. I did chill it in the refrigerator for just a little bit. I will add the recipe for this ice cream mixture down in the description below the video. But it's basically milk, egg yolks, cream, and a little bit of sugar. I did add a little bit of vanilla to this just to give it some flavor. At this point, this ice cream is not so appealing, but let's freeze it. So I'm going to take some of my dry ice, and I need someone to stir. You stir, and I will pour it in. So the warm ice cream mixture is transferring heat to the very, very cold dry ice. What is happening to the solid dry ice? It is turning into
Carbon dioxide?
ice cream. The dry ice isn't turning into ice cream.
I would say the dry ice turning into carbon dioxide.
Dry ice is carbon dioxide, but it is going from what phase to what phase?
The solid state into a gas state.
Right, so will there be any dry ice left in the ice cream?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. Not unless you put a really big chunk in. Okay, let's see what this looks like. You can see it's bubbling.
All the carbon dioxide.
But we're still really, really liquidy here, aren't we? So we just need to keep adding dry ice until we get it frozen. Now, as you're adding dry ice, it is important to keep stirring because the dry ice will sink to the bottom and you will end up with a frozen mass at the very bottom of your bowl, and you will still have liquid on top. That does not make for very good ice cream. So we just want to make sure that we keep on stirring so that we can freeze the liquid in a more consistent manner. So you do not have to hand stir this mixture, although I think it's kind of fun to watch it come together and freeze. If you have a KitchenAid mixer or any kind of stand mixer, that can do the stirring work for you, and you can just add the dry ice at intervals as you need it. So as I stir this, if you listen, it sounds like there are maybe pebbles in the bottom here. That sound you hear are small chunks of dry ice. So you can see it's not perfectly snow. If I can find a chunk, there's a chunk. So you can see that is a chunk I did not do such a good job of smashing. This is also why it's important to keep stirring. This will sublimate as it transfers, as the ice cream transfers its heat mixture to it.
Smash it.
And the finer your dry ice powder, the fewer of those little pebbles that you will have. And frankly, that makes for smoother ice cream. And it also means that you won't get, see how I have this large chunk that's frozen? That is probably frozen around a larger chunk of dry ice. There it is. So I'll break that open to get that out. So if you have these bigger pieces like I do, you can see that they actually remove pretty easy. You can always just pop those out as you find them. They do tend to float to the surface of the ice cream, which is very handy. So at this point, we're at the consistency of soft serve. Now I have pulled out some of the larger pieces of dry ice as I have found them. You can see the mixture is not bubbling as much. See, here is another larger piece. Again, it comes out really, really easy. So I'm just keeping my eyes open for those larger pieces. Again, that is not something that I want to bite into when I have my ice cream. But I like my ice cream to be a little bit more frozen than this, so I am going to add a little bit more. I did my best with that addition to avoid the larger pieces. And you can see it really freezes, especially the top where the dry ice comes in contact with the ice cream mixture. It freezes it pretty quickly, which is why I like to stir continuously. Again, it's nice when you have other people around so that you can trade off on stirring duties. Still keeping my eyes open for any larger chunks as they happen to pop up. Thought I heard one rattling around in there. Although they do continuously sublimate, so you might have a chunk that you're trying to find and it ends up sublimating and then it's not a problem anymore. So you notice that I'm making this in a plastic bowl. The bottom of the bowl, even when it's plastic down here, does get quite cold. If you were to use a glass or a metal bowl, I would recommend not touching the bottom part because it does get quite cold with glass and metal, which is why I like to use a plastic bowl. If you decide to use a stand mixer like a KitchenAid mixer, that metal bowl will get very, very cold. Definitely do not touch the bottom of that. So this is looking pretty good to me. Again, it's up to you how frozen you want it. I still like to be able to stir it. So this works pretty well for me. Although if you're out here like today on kind of a hot day, it does melt fairly quickly. I think this is ready to serve up. Once you have made your ice cream,
What?
it's ready to eat. One thing we like to do is put toppings on our homemade ice cream. So we have some Ready Whip, some chocolate syrup, and some sprinkles. So you guys want to put some toppings on your ice cream? I like to eat mine plain. It's time to dig in.
It tastes fizzy.
That's right, it does taste fizzy. So, and the reason why it tastes kind of like a soda is because we did add carbon dioxide, and that is the gas that is dissolved in sodas. So it does have a little bit of a sparkling flavor. One other fun thing that we like to do with our dry ice is we like to make sparkling apple juice. To make sparkling juice, this is just apple juice here. I will add some larger chunks.
Wait.
Plus it looks really cool. So if you let this sit, it does dissolve carbon dioxide in your juice and you end up with sparkling juice. Now you will end up with frozen apple juice down at the bottom here. It forms a frozen apple juice crust over these pieces of dry ice. Again, please do not drink the dry ice, but it makes a really easy fizzy drink.
Why doesn't dry ice float?
Yes, you're right. So you can see the dry ice is stuck all at the bottom. The reason why regular ice floats is because it is less dense than water, and apple juice is mostly water. However, the dry ice is more dense than water, so it sinks to the very bottom. That's a very good question. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining us making ice cream. I'm sorry I couldn't be there so that you guys could taste your ice cream. Stay safe, and thanks for joining us.